This is a presentation of the Badlands Media Network.
Hey, here I be. So nice and easy. I didn't even remember to do the camera among my preparation. And I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, at least I'm seeing you can see me. And I'm not messing with anything today. I'm not going to try and attempt to modify the sound if you can't quite hear it properly. Um, yeah. Um, hey, we're going to try and roll through this program. I see, well, let me check the chat. I did put a link in there so I wouldn't forget. I told you before how much I think about Don Serber. He has a good column up this morning, and he had a quote in there that is accurate to a point, and I think it's a very good indication. I've been trying to organize my thoughts and these shows informally, nothing really major, from the point of us as force multipliers. If you've seen my personal Substack articles, um, you know, the Gathering of First Sovereigns, I do talk about force multipliers. I name certain individuals as force multipliers. It is a military concept, and purposely so, because we are at war. And what I wanted to engage any of my readers with, but without beating them over the heads, is the realization that all of us in this MAGA movement, if you believe in the mission that Donald Trump has laid down, the continuing mission, uh, we are all force multipliers. We have a nation full of fellow citizens who don't quite understand what is happening, what has happened, and how we've got to address um, the outrage of what people are doing, the foolishness they can see all around them, where they're just shaking their head and thinking that, wow, things have really gotten crazy. No, it's much worse than that. It's much worse than that. And so I thought Don's column, I'm not going to read the column in full, but I want to read down to that line that I quoted in the chat. So let me see if I can, before I go to your chat and engage y'all this morning, I want to go ahead and get this little preface, so to speak, out of the way. And I don't want to share audio. I just want you to see tab. Yeah. So here's the tab. And this is Don Serber's column today. And he titles it Supreme Court is the Left's New Trump. Okay. There's a picture of the Supreme Court, and he starts out this way: having convinced themselves that Democrats will cream President Trump next year thanks to ballot harvesting, the left has moved to remove the last obstacle to their total control of our country, which was a constitutional republic until January 20, 2021's installation of Biden in the White House. The left now attacks the Supreme Court. Democrats want to give Congress control of the court by creating an ethics commission of some sort. That's like Jack the Ripper calling for knife control. If such a commission does not work, assassination is not outside the left's ken. Justice Samuel Alito flat out raised that possibility when asked about the leak of his first draft of the decision that overturned Roe. Readers must understand that we now have a government of the government, by the government, and for the government. Okay. It's a great column. I highly recommend it in full. But this is what I wanted to say, and I said I'd have a different take on it in the chat. And I do. To my way of thinking, this doesn't contemplate the fullness of this war. And I haven't read Don, I haven't interacted with Don, so that I don't know if he's just, hey, for the sake of this column, saying this. But we have not lost our constitutional republic. We are fighting a coup that tries to make a fait accompli the loss of our constitutional republic. That's a huge difference to me. And it does indicate the need for us as members of this MAGA movement to be force multipliers with the people that we know, to persevere, not to be nagging, not to be overbearing, but to be resolute, firm and resolute as a force multiplier, that we will not stand for this. And that's about all we really have to do. There are manifestations of it that flow from that, but that's all we really have to do. We will not stand for this nonsense. So, let me check in with y'all, since it appears we're working and the technology is not fighting against me this morning. Good morning, each and every one of you, wherever you are. I am honored that you're taking the time. I actually met with a gentleman yesterday in Jacksonville. Honored that he's taken the time to interact with me, and we had a great conversation. I was very pleased. I'm looking at Devolution Power Hour was one of the best. Went from informative to hilarious to dramatic. Didn't know what to think. My goodness, Dina. Heated discussion the next. That's good. That's good. John did an Angel Paste demo. Okay. Good morning, Vito. Marketing Dynamo, is that what that says? Good morning. Geese sitting here watching the Rumble ad. Post Miz, thank you for dropping in. Outstanding, loud and clear. Great, great. So, outstanding, Darth Cajun. You are a foot soldier of the first rank. Good morning, Eurythmic. Yeah, I just want to. Okay, Vito, your A1C only went up 0.5. Outstanding. Congratulations and good luck with your fight. Yeah, Democrats, this is the thing. We know. In my first little Substack, personal Substack, I was writing about the Solzhenitsyn reminder. And one of his things was, look, standards matter. And these Soviet people, these communists, these left-wing socialists, all of the same damn ilk. They don't believe standards matter. Power matters. Whatever you got to do to get power. And so that's what they're doing with the Supreme Court. They had a chokehold. They don't have the chokehold anymore. So, okay, now they're fair game. And, who leaked that decision? Alito knows, I think. Alito knows, I think. And it's like, okay, why haven't they said something about it? Yeah, there are all kinds of reasons why, perhaps. All kinds of reasons why. And I just know that they've increasingly, Democrats, selected blatant partisans, weak, weak legal theorists, you know? And they've gone down a road where I just think it's going to get one of them. Whoever leaked that document is in deep, deep trouble. Let me put it that way. And is stupid in the extreme. May very well have not done it themselves, used one of their underlings, but they were in on it. They sat around and strategized about it. They're just partisans. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out in my mind. It's going to be very interesting. But this is the thing about going back to Don and his column and talking about government of the people, government of the government, by the government, and for the government. What a disappointing, I saw last night. I crashed yesterday when I got back from Jacksonville. I was just too tired. But early this morning, and I got up way early again this morning, I watched Fearless with Jason Whitlock. Very interesting show. And they walked through some subjects I highly recommend it. In fact, let me go give a link while I'm thinking about it. If you've got I don't know, what was it, maybe 90 minutes to show, there are segments you can pull out. But it was good and very interesting, broad topic, the kind of stuff we have to talk about in the American mainstream. And it's the kind of thing where it's not really discussed, these topics, in the American mainstream. And he's got a guy from Minnesota, Royce White, goes a little bit over the top for me on some of his prescriptions. Like I said, I'm not going to agree with everybody on everything. He's very passionate. And if I remember correctly, he's Catholic, I think. But he was criticizing essentially all of us who've allowed this state of affairs to come into being, called all of us basically punks, for not taking to the street and protesting. But he overlooked, and I think Jason kind of sort of said, hey, hold up. There was this massive protest. It was January 6th. And you see, they've really tried to throw these people under the bus who they convinced to enter the Capitol and put on something of a sham insurrection. And Jason, not being a Republican and coming somewhat late to realize the craziness that's been largely engendered by the Democrats. And, my orientation, I want to say this, I guess as a reminder, I presume, I've conflated so much. It's like, well, what have I really discussed on this channel? And who even saw it? The audience changes every day. But my orientation is we certainly have a uniparty. I fought that allegation for years, the concept, but we clearly do. But to me, Democrats and Republicans are not equally at fault in the Uniparty because the Democrats are the foot soldiers for the invisible enemy, the way I see this. And they drive the train within the realm of American politics. The Republicans follow along and, when necessary, are allowed to take a lead within certain constraints, but it's always marching down the road. These damn communists, socialists, leftists, globalists want to go, always. And so, to me, I don't do that equivalence thing. It is largely the Democrats and some sap sucking Republicans, many of them, if not the majority of them, who just follow along, go along and get along. Okay, that's the broad orientation. But standards matter, and they've really worked hard to convince us standards don't matter. Jason on his show last night talked about Ruby Ridge, and it's like, wow, I kind of forgot about that, and what this Green Beret was subjected to, and the fact that they killed his wife and his kid, and they just manufactured all kinds of craziness in some weird ass narrative enhancing or controlling operation. But he did make the point, and it's a point I've tried to make to people, and it's a point we don't make enough. Again, part of my thing about white people looking other folks in the eye, black people, white people, whomever, and calling bullshit on bullshit. You have enough of a mass, you have the controlling mass in the country, call bullshit on bullshit, but you stand firm on the solid ground of our inalienable rights and our constitutional republic, and you are rock solid in the belief that, hey, we got a constitutional right to think whatever the hell we want to think in this country, to be racist to the core, bigoted. And again, I said on here, racism is not a thing. When you hear racism, just think bigots, prejudice. That's all it is. You cannot disentangle it. It's the genius of their approach. They have a forever weapon as long as you don't have the discernment to recognize that's bullshit. They told you for years and years and years and decades, race was a human construct. Now all they do is holler racism, racism, racism. Can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. So anyway, good show. Oh, I didn't. I did not get you the link to the show. Let me try and pull up his latest. Yeah, and it was an interesting. He started out with a fire starter about Tucker Carlson, and that was good. He was entirely appropriate that they targeted him, Don Server, saying, "Hey, the Supreme Court is their new Trump." But what you see is they have multiple flanks. They aren't coming at it in one direction. This is why we are at war with our own multiple flanks. And so we just have to understand the real deal. We have to understand the real deal, and we have to try and have conversations with our friends in our circle that, yeah, there is a war going on here. And this is plainly a military operation of sorts that's been privatized by these three-letter agencies we have in many ways. Now, it's still an open question on Donald Trump coming into office and placing his people. We noticed those combatant commands did not change. I took a look. What was it? It was some National Reconnaissance Office, I think, part of, if not DIA, NSA. But the head of that operation did not change either from Trump's administration into Biden. There's a lot going on. We've all said that it's hard to know precisely. Let me type in this address. I think if you watch the show, you'll find it beneficial. He obviously is a huge Tucker Carlson fan. Tucker, I'm not a huge Tucker Carlson fan. I'm not an enemy. And I do think they have absolutely come after him, and they feel like he's gotten off the reservation and is something of an enemy now. But what did I say? I wanted to reinforce a point. I wanted to show Victor, and I didn't pull him up. I think y'all know Victor Davis Hanson, right? Very, well, let me send this link. But Victor Davis Hanson is somebody I've read, truly appreciated, because he has engaged the fight, to me, on the battlefield in the way it needs to be engaged. But he is, yeah, maybe I should take the time to go ahead and find his short that grabbed my attention. I was like, oh, Victor, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? But I want you to see it because I should have done this last night. I may have to give it up for tomorrow. Who would have posted it? You go to my history. You see all. Bear with me. I don't want to change these things up, and it's like, okay, now you're presenting it in a different way. I used to be able to just click all and see all of them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a wing and a prayer and see if it comes up just on a quick search. Maybe they'll have his short. No. Damn it. Yeah, I can't let that frustrate me. Okay, here's what he was doing, essentially. He was saying, listen, what Republicans want is somebody who has the fight of Donald Trump, who will go after these adversaries like Donald Trump who will be unrelenting like Donald Trump. But they want somebody who has a better, vibe surrounding them, less of the emotional, this is, I think, what he was saying, Trumpian outbursts and all this other kind of stuff. And it's like, I was so disappointed. It's like, Victor, sweet. No, it's not what Republicans want. That's what your ass wants. And what your ass wants is a prime reason why we have for decades been fooled by the extent of the problem. I just wish these people who keep talking about mean tweets, and I swear I want to beat the ever-loving hell out of people who keep talking about mean tweets or Donald Trump going off on this or that or the other. We are at war. Damn a mean tweet. We need some mean tweets and a lot more than that. And it just is driving me crazy. You get so frustrated. You have a thought that, am I going to have to choke a mofo to death? Am I going to have to choke a mofo? They just keep talking about these damn mean tweets. Anyway, let me get back on track and get to these ads that I'm supposed to do in the first half of the show. First up is our good friends, Vincent Honey, done by our good friend Brad and Abby. They did a good ad here.
Benson Honey Farms delivers raw honey straight from the hive to your table. It is their mission to provide you the best raw honey at the lowest prices possible. By not pasteurizing, overheating, or filtering their honey, Benson Honey Farms ensures that all of its natural pollen and enzymes stay in the honey for maximum health benefits. So cut out the middleman and go straight to the source. Visit BensonHoneyFarms.com and use the rep code BADLANDS to place your order today. That's BensonHoneyFarms.com, rep code BADLANDS.
Now, I did put my Benson honey in my coffee this morning, and I am drinking it happily. And I'm avoiding doing my A1C test. I see Vito did his, because I am doing this do-it-yourself thing, and I've gotten off the wagon. I went out there to Arizona. I put on at least 5 pounds. I didn't care about any sugar or this, that, or the other. And since I've gotten back, I've done the same thing. So not been diligent. And they play it out over a 3-month period, but what the heck. I'm going to take my time. I'm still hopeful that I don't have to totally give up sugar, even including honey in my coffee. But I am recognizing slowly but surely that may very well be the case. And I saw a guy, Stephen Mark Ryan, he was talking about his, he had a monitor, a constant glucose monitor or something like that on, and he was walking through how long he's been having a low carb diet. He tested a few things, and it was, man, any intake of sugar was what really, or something that would be processed into some form of sugar. And he was saying, yeah, our evolutionary body only recently got to these carbohydrates, so we're not designed to be able to process them, especially in a world of plenty. Okay, scarcity has been the rule for human evolution, and all animals, really, creatures on Earth. So this is something new, and of course, the United States was the leader in this, since we are the richest nation on Earth. We do live in the land of plenty, and people have become progressively more like us, and therefore fatter, like we have become. I'm still, the highest weight I think I got up to was like 285, and I'm fluctuating between 240 and 250 now, depending on what I'm doing. My goal is to get to around 220. I'm not really worried about anything below that. But second ad is MyPillow. And where did I put that? Yeah. I think I have the right, they changed the script. I don't think that's the right one. Oh boy. So I don't want to put up the wrong. I did that the other day. Yeah. That's it. Okay, sorry. Oh my goodness. Are you getting ready for a great night's sleep, ladies and gentlemen? If you aren't, it's time to upgrade your bed with the My Mattress Topper 2.0 from our friends at MyPillow.com. The My Mattress Topper 2.0 is a 3-inch coil hybrid topper, perfect blend of comfort foam, support foam, and nano coils. This provides the perfect sleeping surface. Nano coil technology offers dynamic response to your body's natural movements, providing superior support as well as reducing partner disturbance. The My Mattress Topper's inner springs transfers heat more efficiently and creates a channel for airflow to better regulate sleeping temperatures. It has a patented cover with phase change technology to help keep your body temperature right for you as an individual. And its superior durability resists sagging, settlement, and body impressions. The My Mattress Topper 2.0 comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. You can get your My Mattress Topper 2.0 for as low as $219.59 with the promo code Badlands. Just go to mypillow.com/Badlands for discounts on all MyPillow products. And please check out Badlands Marketplace on badlandsmedia.tv, where you'll find MyPillow and a growing number of America First businesses listed. Please help build our parallel economy by shopping America First. Okay. And the thing about Victor Davis Hanson, while I'm thinking about it, before I go back to the chat, the thing about Victor Davis Hanson that we have to realize is we have to maintain the mindset, recognizing that he is a valuable force multiplier. He is essentially with us. I believe that. Loves this country and the people of this country, who built this country and who maintain this country. And so we have to understand that this is our problem. Victor Davis Hanson is not our enemy. You have to look at him and you have to say, here is our problem, not here is our enemy. We need to assist him to get to the place where he recognizes this war, and that without Donald Trump, it isn't that we need some other, we need the person of Donald Trump. We would be in a world of hurt if they were able to eliminate him. We do have people in place, and in my opinion, Ron DeSantis is one of those people who can carry forward, but we need Donald Trump. We need Team Trump. And we need all of that energy that's behind them, including mean tweets, including unsparing criticism, including some F-bombs now and then. We need all of that. So that's how I think we have to look at this, gang. I am serious about that. We need to not blink on the need for Donald Trump. We need to not blink at what they're trying to do with the Senate, this craziness. This is the thing I said about Bill Barr, why I was so impressed with Bill Barr. He'd give some speeches and he'd make the point about overreach and branches of government getting out of their lane, the judiciary and the Congress dictating X, Y, and Z to the president. I'm like, oh, wait, whoa. That ain't your job. And by the way, you've delegated to these commissions and agencies power that Constitution doesn't give to you. Constitution didn't give you that power. Let these people rule over us. Your ass has to pass the laws and be accountable, not some bureaucrat. So yeah, this is where the fight is. This is the battlefield. And we just got to understand there are people we don't quite understand are working against us. They're working against Donald Trump. Good morning, Nicole. Yeah, the scary thing is that is true, but we keep seeing revelations now where they kind of sort of had control of the Supreme Court. This is the thing about why I'm so pleased with Clarence Thomas. He started writing dissents, reasoned them out. He laid the foundation on this is wrong. And we're being slaves to precedent when we don't need to be slaves to precedent. And they made severe overreach. It got outside of their lane. We're not bound by that. And he is held firm. So, yeah, these banks, I have a hard time, MAGA Keys girl. Yeah, but I do recognize could have been one of the justices, but my goodness, wouldn't that indicate? I really think they used an underling. I really do. I saw a write up. I don't remember the woman's name, but there was some clerk, crazy partisan for one of the liberal justices. Pretty sure that's who they used. Pretty sure. Yeah, this is the thing that tells on them, Kinship Quest. It's almost like them saying race is a construct for decades, and all of a sudden they do this total 180 flip, and now it's race, 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 race. Get out of here. Get the hell out of here. Kinship Quest, I'm going to tell you the honest to goodness truth. And I say this because I am Black and I do fear this kind of thing. And now I can't even remember. You know, this is how the fear works. You conflate. It's like, wow, did that chick get on the Supreme Court before this leak occurred, or was it right around the same time this leak occurred? The Florida girl. It could have been Kagan or Sotomayor, but yeah. Where is Fearless? Francis Fearless. Okay, let me slow down. I think I put the link in there, but they are part of the Blaze network. He's in Nashville. He moved away from Los Angeles to join up with these, originally Clay Travis. And that's an interesting thought too. I don't know that most of y'all know who Clay Travis is, but Clay is kind of sort of what we have to do, although he's of the center left and voted for Obama, you know, all of this foolishness. But a normal left winger, a lawyer from Nashville, who is also a sports fanatic. And what he did is he quit practicing law. He started up in the sports environment. He was writing for different sites. He saw an opportunity. And because, you know, some people just didn't understand how big this sports environment is. So he started his own little operation and he grew it. And it got to be humongously profitable. It has made him a multimillionaire. And he sold his Outkick, the coverage site, to Fox, I believe. And so he's still doing his show. And he and this guy, Buck, replaced Rush Limbaugh. So they do the daily show now that Rush did. And good guy, good, interesting guy. He doesn't quite understand this war like so many, but he does understand things are way out of control and that he's had enough. And he's down with Tucker Carlson. Because, you know, I think Tucker is of the center left. But Jason wound up, I don't know if he had a conflict with Clay. I don't know if he had a dispute. I don't know if he just saw something where, you know what, he and Clay agreed, you need your independence. You need the help of a network beyond this sports thing that we do, because Jason was on a mission far beyond sports. He was on a Christian mission. And so that's what he's doing at the Blaze. But he loops it through a sports environment further proof of our orientation here at Badlands that we definitely needed a sports show, and we definitely needed to show non-sports enthusiasts or people who were sports enthusiasts who had just gotten sick and tired of the craziness that we needed to stay on the battlefield. We don't give up our love of sports. We do not give them the satisfaction or the advantage. We fight on every front. So that's what Jason is doing. And if you check out his show, you will see what I'm talking about. He's got sports commentary. He's got pastors. You know, it's just a seamless, the kind of thing that we need that harkens back to what this country was all about. There was a seamless interaction. It wasn't any church state violation stuff. It's a natural, obvious positioning given this country's history, our founding, what we believe, and the necessary constraints that faith gives you in order to have a capitalistic system work properly, meaning some boundaries, meaning some duties and responsibilities that you do not shirk. So I like the show. I can't watch it, all the time. He's doing a daily 90 minutes, at least an hour to 2 hours. So, but I do highly recommend it. Nancy Patriot, I think Victor finds Donald Trump not refined enough. I mean, Victor's really of the classics and all, the refinement. And, look, this is not a country where we can rely on these people who are into the refinement of stuff. They get your ass beaten. They allow the enemy to do too damn much. And I said this before, probably on this show, but I absolutely believe it. I can remember years back, people were talking and all kinds of, lacking thought, grounded in reality. And I would say, listen to me good. If these head choppers ever show up on our shore, we're going to need some hood thugs, and you know what I'm talking about, and we're going to need some redneck rough riders in order to beat their ass. We're going to need that. We don't need this refinement crap when there's a war going on. We can humor you. We can allow you to do all of that. And this is my thing about Victor. I thought Victor totally understood this. But the rise of Trump says to me, Victor doesn't really get this. Or maybe he was just speaking in this short of a crowd of folk that he doesn't agree with. He was just giving voice to this is what they think. That might be. But what I took away from the short was this kind of sort of was what he felt too. It's kind of sort of the Kurt Schlichter, DeSantis stuff, which I am 100% certain Donald Trump anticipated. That's why he went and plucked DeSantis from the Freedom Caucus to run for Florida governor and eventually win. He anticipated this. So we'll see. Yeah, you saw it, Eurythmic. Yeah, I'm hoping we're reading it wrong. I'm hoping he was giving voice to a dedicated minority who we need to see as our problem, but not our enemy. Kinship Quest, I cannot see John Roberts doing anything like that. No, I am far less antagonistic about Roberts than many, many people are. Far less antagonistic. Yeah, Kagan and Sotomayor are activists. That's all they've gone after. They don't, when you read their opinions, oh man. Trump is funny, and he does slice with a knife that is extremely sharp. I like that. Mess with me if you want to. Yeah, God forbid we have alpha males. They really told on themselves when they started talking this toxic masculinity stuff. You know, they told on themselves. They fear us, and they damn well should. Only when they just really bow down and they, people go through this beta, gamma, all these other kinds of males. Look, even alpha males have, there's a spectrum. And I just think we're talking about percentages. But yeah, we need alpha males, no doubt about it. Diana, you're in Palm Beach County? What? I'm going to be down there, and certainly in the next month. My best friend lives in Palm Beach County, between, God, what is that town where they do all the polo, and Lake Worth. It begins with a W. The name is escaping me now, but yeah, he's a man. He's a mighty good man. Exactly. Yeah, looking at the keto, I bought. It ain't gonna work, I have to understand who I am. Fresh and Lean or some type service like that. They send these meals. I said, let me try it. Let me see. I don't think it's gonna work, and it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. I gotta stop that. Lift heavy things. Weightlifting does matter far more than people realize. Far more. Far better in many ways than walking. Real exertion for an extended period works wonders. And then if you're able to regularize it, I'm trying to get back to that. Yeah, and I'm not worried so much about the weight. The weight I've lost, Michi Me, is good weight to lose. I'm not worried about the weight. Otherwise, I'd be 180. I need to get down to 180 or something. No. Not gonna even try that. Oh, I see other people in Palm Beach County. We may, if y'all are open to it, have a little quick get together when I go down to Palm Beach County. I would love that. Yeah, Diana, you want me to get totally off the sugar? It's just going to be very hard. Francis, I think Bill Barr is playing a role. Trump has so many people playing roles where they have to stay in their lane. They have to consistently, stay in their lane for us to get back to the proper rule of law and not overstating. It used to be, I want to say from a journalist standpoint, you would see people very careful to say X, Y, and Z allegedly occurred at, you just wouldn't make a factual statement when you did not have the facts. And you would put the precautionary word to indicate to the listener, this is kind of, sort of, what may very well have happened, but we don't know this. Now, all of that's out the window. People regularly, I'm talking journalists, write stuff up, as though something is a fact when it's mere speculation all the time. And it's like some of these people just don't get it. I always think about, probably have said on here, I remember going down to Miami. My younger brother is a tennis fanatic. And so he was playing tennis out at Doral, I think. And he had somebody out there. I was gonna go observe him, watch him play. I'm not a tennis fanatic, a golf fanatic, no kind of athletic competition fanatic. I enjoy it, I love it, but if I'm out there, I want to have some fun hitting that tennis ball. I ain't so worried about whether I win the match. I want to have some fun smacking that golf ball. I ain't so worried about, hey man, that thing went way off on the other hole. But my brother's very serious about tennis, and he had this friend he wanted me to meet. I think anyway, we somehow got into a debate, and we were talking about something. This was in the Bush era, and the man made a statement about something that W had said, and I said, no, W very clearly never said that. He said, oh, yes, he absolutely did. And the man was talking about a paraphrase some left winger had written. And he really didn't understand the difference between a factual statement, verbatim, this is what was said, and a paraphrase from a position of opinion. He really didn't understand the difference. There's been a genesis of that, an evolution of that, just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So much so that the New York Times, of course, as a leading organ, the leading organ of this craziness, came out and said, hey, we got to fight. Essentially, they were saying we're at war, just like I'm saying, and we got to lay down all pretense of these journalistic standards. We got to roll with the narrative, period. I mean, it came out and essentially said that. Unbelievable stuff. Yeah, most of my best friends are normal left wingers. They don't, the cloak of the right team is still holding firm with them. They are dismayed by the craziness, but they cannot admit to me, man, you might have been right. Hard for them to admit that. We're not going to be in a civil war. We are not going to be in a civil war. We are in this information war, and we are slowly eliminating all oxygen that they have. That I can't breathe, that shiznit is going to be real for them, real damn soon. Yeah, yeah. Trump will not back down. And he knows, it's another reason why he's doing all these tours. He knows we need those redneck Rough Riders. He knows we need those hood thugs. This is one reason why people criticized him for that legislation. Who was it? Was it a Kardashian was pimping about men being jailed and all like that? No, we needed that. He needed to do his outreach to Kanye. And you see what they've tried to do to Kanye. Look, Jamie Foxx, I don't know if y'all are paying attention, but is in the hospital now. And some people are really speculating that, hey, people think he got off the plantation. He has seen a little bit too much. He feels a little too free. So there's all kinds of things going on in this war that says to me we are winning, and they know it. Okay, I need to do my last two ands. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to have to record these damn things and put a timer or something that rings, and I just stop and say, okay, time to play a video. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. But let me come down here and do my duty to the people who support our network, the Wellness Company. Are you worried about spike proteins? Ladies and gentlemen, many Americans are. Are you worried about how they may impact your health? Are you looking for help but you don't know what to do, the Wellness Company has an answer in the form of their clean, pure, all natural spike support formula, which was developed by experts like Dr. Peter McCullough. The Wellness Company's spike support includes incredible nattokinase, dandelion root, black sativa extract, green tea, and Irish sea moss. Even better, the spike formula by the Wellness Company is vegan, gluten-free, and made right here in the USA, so you know you can trust and rely on it. If you are concerned about spike proteins, that is. Buying American-made naturalistic ingredients of this quality, buying them separately, would cost you somewhere around $100. The Wellness Company's spike formula is only $65.99. Go to spikedefend.com to order spike support today and use promo code BADLANDS for 10% off. That's spikedefend.com using promo code BADLANDS for peace of mind if you are concerned about spike proteins. Okay, take that off. Come down. Every day, there's bank news. There's asset problems. There's concern about how do you control and protect your wealth. Kirk Elliott is one way.
Silicon Valley Bank debacle demonstrated just how fragile our banking system can be. We don't know what the future holds, but history has shown us that physical gold and silver are a reliable store of value to protect your wealth. Don't let fear of the unknown paralyze you. Take the first step towards securing your financial future. Reach out to Kirk and his team at kirkelliottphd.com/badlands. That's kirkelliottphd.com/badlands.
Now, playing off of that theme a little bit, tomorrow I am going to walk through this Jack Mallers presentation on Bitcoin in DC. I was so impressed with what he did and how he walked through this stuff. And I think it's beneficial for our audience. Whether you want to criticize it, you're still fearful about it or whatever, we need to be knowledgeable about what Bitcoin is in terms of its proponents, how it fits within the metals orientation that Kirk Elliott has, the bank collapse that we're seeing around really the globe. All of that stuff is relevant. And you can't just have a narrow observation. You can have a narrow approach. This is all about your risk tolerance, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you need to be knowledgeable about the arguments that people are making on, stuff in this technological revolution we're currently undergoing, right? So let me get back to your chat as I prepare to thank y'all so much for joining me. Yeah, we have to fix 2020. That's why I've got that Trump 2020 thing up above me. We will not move on. Not happening. Yeah, Bama. We could talk sports, and I don't want to upset the Bama people. Bama had such control and sway, and the Auburn people would vouch for this. You're talking about Legion Field in Birmingham. That was Alabama's home field, and this was the thing about Auburn saying, "Hey, we got to stop playing this game on Alabama's home field," and that was really fought for a long time, but Auburn finally was able to get a home-and-home series. And look, it's a great rivalry. It's a really, really great rivalry. I almost always enjoy watching that game. Yeah, Bar, even on that thing with the church, and I think that moment is going to become much more important in the history of this war than people really fundamentally realized. They really made a strong effort to flip some scripts and damage Donald Trump. They seriously tried to damage Donald Trump then. And I actually think in the aftermath of that, Trump went into overdrive, some secret orders, and him standing at that church holding the Bible has some historical significance beyond what people realize. That's my personal opinion. We're going to find out about that. And Barr, being Department of Justice, Attorney General, this thing, again, playing a role in needing to have separation. This is what you have to understand about people we think may have dropped the ball and not supported our president in the fashion they needed to. We needed them to be in a nonpartisan position publicly for consumption. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, and I appreciate it, and I look forward to y'all. What is today? Today's Thursday? Yes, the day before Cinco de Mayo. I look forward to you joining me for the Cinco de Mayo edition tomorrow. Later, Gators.